is a conspiracy, there is an object of conspiracy, there is no protection from the divine hand of the Lord, as you are hearing, and perhaps maybe just this one time understanding. And I continue with the prophecy. America, there is an agreement to shoot the president, and after that, the hand of the conspirator will fall heavily on this country. Please listen. Conspirators will surge forward to plug the gap. I repeat and I reveal to you by the Spirit of the Lord, the ones you see rushing forward and scrambling to fill the gap, the ones who rush forward with solutions, ideas, suggestions, thoughts, platforms, reinstatement plans, and replacement strategies are the ones who have done this thing. Whether they do it as a total group, or whether it's a few among them, when you see them spilling forward in a feeding frenzy, just like water surging in a river, then you have also seen the ones who planned and did this act. This is the word of the Lord. The American leadership is going to fall and crumble like a bag of bricks, and an eddy that is a strong, whirling pool of water will swirl forward to fill the gap. I see this eddy of water washing away the blood of the man who was killed, and his death will be lost in the noise of succession planning. That succession planning is in capital letters, and that is because God has been telling this stubborn country that you are no longer a free nation. Of course, because you never believe anything that the Holy Spirit says, you are waiting to see yourself in shackles and chains, which is a future time before you believe it. But to those who hear the Lord and believe it, God has been saying here for many years that America is going to completely lose her right to participate in election process, to participate in any kind of bylaws, selection, focus groups, all the things that keep people so busy in this country. Oh no, we're having a little town hall here and a town hall there. All those things will be put away, and you will end up in a dictatorship that operates exactly like the medieval kingdoms of Europe. Succession planning is when old King Harry or old King Charles, ancient ones, not today, is coming on in years and develops a worrisome cough that makes it difficult for him to sit in state, because when the advisors to the crown are talking and the king is just hacking away and spitting blood into a hanky, it doesn't look good. Those are the times in which they begin to put unholy pressure on the queen, if she is still barren, to find a son or else. This is the time where they begin to look for young maidens who are fitting enough in the bloodline, because the kitchen maid, even though she's been the king's girlfriend for years, will never do when you need an heir. The queen comes under pressure to produce an heir. That whole process of looking for who comes next is called succession planning. If the king has an heir, such as King Josiah, who was very young when he came to the throne, when the king is spitting blood into his hanky, Josiah's training, the young one in waiting, will begin to intensify. Although he may be only 8, only 14, or only 12, or sometimes, if all things are lined up well, he might be 19 or even 21, taking the pressure off everyone. They will begin his instruction in matters of state, day and night. No more playing for that baby. No more playing for that teenager. No more running off and shooting foxes and riding your horse by the lake. It is time to prepare for the weighty mantle of kinghood to be put upon your shoulders. Now, if you're American, you might be wondering, but we don't do that. And that's because you're not listening. You are simply not listening. It has been done to the United States in the past, to all who know her history. She was nothing but a protectorate of the British. And God has already said here in prophecy that America began her life as a child. You began your life as a vassal, as a protectorate, as a place that the British just used to come and do whatever they were doing. And God says that is exactly how you will end your life. He said you began your life as a child, and you shall once more be a child at the end of it. I was thinking in my mind today, God, I know that when we boldly, and the way that they're going to give themselves away is that they're going to be full of solutions about how America should go forward. You must know that whenever something happens, and the first person that pops up with solutions, many times the old people say that that's the person who did it. Problem and solution. They create the problem, and then they jump forward with the solution. Why don't we do this and this and this? That's what the old people say anyway. And so he says that when you see conspirators surging forward to plug the gap, what do we do now, America? He says it's them. They're going to rush forward with solutions, with ideas, with suggestions, with thoughts, offering different platforms, reinstatement plans. How do we move on from this? And replacement strategies and succession planning. You've heard succession planning told to you. And democratic countries don't have succession planning. Democratic countries, so the rumor goes, host free and fair elections. And anybody who is up for the challenge, anybody who meets the criteria can stand in a free and fair country to take part in those, quote fingers, free and fair elections. But then when the Holy Spirit is telling you that the nation is actually going to embark on replacement strategies and on succession planning, then what that tells you is that just as Amtrak runs along one track, but then if it's about to go in a different direction, the track will shift and the train will just seamlessly move on to a different track. That is how America is going to seamlessly move from this independent democratic republic into the thing that I have been describing to you here forever. The kingdom with prefects and side prefects and extra prefects and under prefects and under prefects, the huge bureaucracy that I've been describing to you here for years, where they categorize people by skill, and they who did it, whether they acted as a whole group or whether they were a few among them that took agreement to do it. He says, whoever you see spilling forward in a feeding frenzy, just like water surging in a river, then he says, you have seen the ones who planned and did the act. American leadership is going to fall, collapse, and crumble like a bag of bricks, and a strong swirl of water will come forward to fill the gap. And as that water is coming forward, God says,